you can win for the next 2 months and talk about this 100% win rate that you have for the next 2 months, but that one trade, you lose absolutely everything. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just the same as RR. It's no different. If your risk management has nothing to do with what your maximum risk is, and instead has to do with only RR, that means essentially that any trade that you take, your risk can be different. So they love to talk about RR, but that's only your stop compared to your take profit. So if one trade you say, okay, my stop is 20 ticks, the next trade your stop is 50 ticks, the next trade your stop is, 10 ticks, and then your stop is 5 ticks, and then they say, well, I made 17R today. Well, how? 17R of what? It doesn't make any sense. So what did you make of your account? What did you make of your total bankroll? Did you make 1% of your bankroll? Did you make 2% of your bankroll? Did you make 10% of your bankroll? Your actual complete total of your account. That's, at the end of the day, guys, that's what matters. If you take a trade that's got a 3-tick stop loss and you made 2R, you made 6 ticks, who cares? I mean, not saying who cares, I shouldn't be that way, but I'm just saying, then you start talking about 17R and 10R and all these things, but really it means nothing because the equivalent of what you're making doesn't mean nothing except for what you risked. That's it, right? And that's the whole thing. So in reality, it's not a number. It's just a number to the heads of the people that believe in RR. It's just a number to them. Because what is 10R? If everybody understands all these things so much, what is 10R? How many ticks of profit is 10R? How many pips? How many pips? How many ticks? Whatever you figure your stuff in. How many pips is 10R? How many ticks is 10R? How much money is 10R? No, it's not. That's the thing, and that's why it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense to calculate everything that way. I realize tons of people do. I know they do it, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. So, and I couldn't even tell you what my RR is on, trades. Why? Because when we take a trade, right, and we'll go over it real quick. Okay. Let's just say that we took an entry here because it broke above. Let's say that it broke above here. This was our actual entry, right? Let's just say it's there. And the bottom wick happened to go to, let's just say, we'll go with like something that is reasonable. So we'll do like 26, 24, 26 ticks, which is a common trade that I'd take, right? Anything under 30. Now we're targeting this. So everybody says, okay, well, that's 1.1 to, 1.5R. But the problem is, and we're not targeting that either. We're actually targeting this in all reality, but so you can say 2R. But the problem with this is, first off, as soon as we get to 20 ticks or get up and start testing this area, we're at BE, so we're risking nothing at this point, and then we're dragging a stop loss. So if price continues to move, we're all the way up here. And now that our stop loss is gone, what? It's 133R now? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, man. It makes none, and I don't see how you calculate that as to what you've made either. I mean, just because of where you put your stop loss? I mean, that doesn't... It makes absolutely no sense. I was watching that young guy called Dr. Dollar, and whilst his TA wasn't too bad, all the trades he was calling was all RR calls. Yeah, and that's because that's a big thing now. It's a huge thing. The old timers never did any of that. That was the SMC IT world that took that phrase to the next level. And there's nothing wrong with it. The whole point is, and I know everybody's going to be like, oh no, don't tell me this. The whole point is you can flip a quarter, right? And the market's going to go up or down. Right now, the market's going to go up or down. All right, 50-50. Flip a quarter, go long, go short. You can do 2R on all them trades, and you should profit at the end of the day because you got a 50% chance of winning, 50% chance of losing. This is how they state it to you. Okay. However, as you sit here and think about this and think about how price goes up and down, you got to answer me a question real fast. Okay. And here's where the problem comes in at. Okay. So anybody that knows anything about math, and we're just going to grab this, just a regular, you know, thing. That's just how it comes out. So we got 66, 132, right? So now, as you long right here, because you flipped your coin, as you look at this thing, I mean, just look at this and think about it in your head, right? Is it more probable to hit this, or is it more probable to hit this? I mean, all you guys give me your answers.
The lower one.
The
red box screw.
Exactly.
Red box screw.
It's more probable to hit the bottom one. Why? Because you're trying to get 2 times the movement to the top as you are to the bottom. And everybody knows price goes up and down. So at the end of the day, you're no longer 50-50. They try to make you believe that with positive RR, that if everything's 50-50, that essentially you should be profitable. But you've just changed your calculation. Anybody that knows anything about math, anybody that knows anything about numbers, anybody that even knows anything about probabilities understands that if you trade this anywhere, no matter what, it's more probable that you're going to hit the stop loss than it is the take profit. That's just the ABCs of it. So saying that you can randomly enter anywhere on the chart, and that if you do 2R, that you're randomly going to magically make 2 times, so it takes more losses than wins. It's true. It does take more losses than wins, but you're more probable to lose given that scenario. Just the same, right? You don't even have to use a coin flip, Braden. You can just push the button. If you push green right now, you have just as much chance for price to go up as you do for price to go down. Just how it is. And like G Flock, I just said, you push the green button right now and put you a big old stop loss and a very tight take profit, you have way more probability of hitting your take profit. However, when you do hit that stop loss, obviously it's going to hurt. And especially if that stop loss means liquidating your account, which is something you should never be, doing. I mean, this is a situation you should never be in, but just a thought, guys. Again, for you RR traders, I'm not harping on the RR traders. If you guys want to trade RR, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that you're, especially as a beginning trader, RR is a good way for you not to lose your, portfolio, your account, your eval, whatever it is you're working on. It's a lot less likely to lose it. But once you, get more proficient in the charts and understand how to trade better, you'll start figuring out that not always is that, the best way to trade the market. I mean, you should understand where the market's going to move once you're trading enough. You should understand where it is that's going to go against you. That's the whole thing. You should understand when it's going in your direction. And once you get there, RR is not a concern anymore because you understand what the market's doing. You don't just hold the when this let's look at it like this, right? When you got this long that you're looking at right here, let's pull the stop loss up just like we did before. So let's do this and let's just do a 2 time for fun, right? When you're doing this, and it's close to 2, and price comes in, okay, you get a close above, okay, comes back down, enters you, and price does this number, comes back down, comes up here and starts baiting you here. and you say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I hold for RR because that's how I trade. And you take something like this, that's just pure stupidity. Being honest, it doesn't make any sense, you know? And I'll go back to the old saying that I learned long ago. If you're walking down the street, right? Well, Paul likes the other one. Don't be a dick for a tick. But if you're walking down the street, right, and there's $20 laying on the ground, do you pick it up or do you say, well, that's not $100, so I don't want it? If you guys are the ones that say nope, you pass and wait for the $100, then absolutely hold the position. There's no point to close it. You don't have any reason.
Institutional mindset.
But those of you that pick up the $20 and don't care that it's not a $100 bill, then, you know, keep your profits. There is absolutely no reason to give your profits back. And again, at any point, all right, see you later, Sonny. Hopefully you're not gone yet. See you later. See you later. G Flocke asked earlier, and it's absolute truth. Absolute truth, guys. He says, why does JJ, you know, not want to trade the end of the month? The same reason that JJ enters a trade and chases it with a stop. He knows that at any given minute, the market can reverse and smack you in the jaw. He knows that. He's been in this market for 30 years. He absolutely knows that that's exactly what will happen. And when guys are saying, oh, well, I'm waiting for my 2R, well, wait for the market to smack you in the mouth then, you know? That's why I chase with a stop loss. He chases with a stop loss. These are just things that you should get used to doing, in my opinion. Again, does everybody have to trade that way? Absolutely not. If you've got a way to trade, more power to you. We had a guy in the server one time, and I go back to this and I talk about this because he got into a big old argument on the live stream with me. And for you that know, you know. For you that don't, you don't. But he was a swing trader, and we were speaking about gold. And this position, you're exactly right, Chief Flocke. This position was 150 pips in profit, right? 150 pips in profit, and news was about to drop. And I told everybody, make sure to secure your positions. News is about to drop. And the people started asking him because they were in positions. He actually called out the trade and they got in positions with him. And he says, oh no, that's something that a scalper has to worry about, not a swing trader. News doesn't affect us at all because our stops are too large and we're already 150 pips in profit. I'm sure you guys can already figure out the end of this story. So news hit and all the stop losses were hit. And if that's not the most dumb thing I've ever heard of in my life, and I think they took like a 100 pip stop or something. So you're 150 pips in profit and you take a 100 pip stop. I mean, I guess maybe we should start thinking about RR at that point. Like, what was the RR on that trade? I mean, he was expecting high, and that's how he traded. He traded RR. So I think he was expecting like a 3 or a 4R on that trade. So he was looking for 300 pips, 500 pips, something like that. You know what I mean? 400 pips. I don't know. It was something huge. But you have to think, now that you're in the trade, now that you're in profit, now what's your RR? You know, people don't understand that. In all actuality, the guy just lost 250 pips. Just saying. So sometimes people need to, you know, recircuit their brain and start thinking about what just happened, because that was your profit. I know not everybody looks at it that way, but it was. He was 150 pips in profit. That was his profit. He had it. All he had to do was secure it. Instead, he lost that plus his 100 pip stop loss. Doesn't make sense to me.
Mike Tyson, no. AKA shit.
Yep, maybe it makes sense to others, but to me, that makes no sense. And then people will come in hollering about, well, that's just because you don't want to sit in a trade long enough to make it to full TP and yada, 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 yada. No, I want to keep my profits. So that's what I prefer to do. I don't prefer to give my money back to the market. I prefer to put it in my pocket. Thank you.
Okay. Mike Tyson, aka the market, destroyed your plan.
Yep.
Got snapped in the face. What you gonna do?
That's how I look at it. Again, not throwing hate at swing traders. I mean, if that's what you do and you enjoy that, stick with it by all means. Not throwing hate at RR traders. If that's what you're doing and it works for you, absolutely stick with it. These are just, this is just answering what, I get asked all the time because people ask me why I don't trade RR. And these are the reasons why.